What a shocking night in Las Vegas. We just witnessed one of the most dominant reigns in UFC flyweight history come to a stunning and unfortunate end. In the co-main event of UFC 323, Joshua Van has just become the new 125-pound champion, making him the second youngest champion in the promotion's history. But the way it happened left everyone inside T-Mobile Arena speechless. Just 26 seconds into the very first round, the fight was over. Alexandre Pantoja, a champion who hadn't tasted defeat in over 5 years, threw a high right head kick. Joshua Van, sharp as ever, caught the leg. As Van drove forward for the takedown, Pantoja twisted awkwardly in the air to brace for the fall. That's when disaster struck. His left arm buckled underneath his own body weight, resulting in what looked like a severe injury. The fight was immediately waved off. It was an anticlimactic finish to what was supposed to be another tough title defense for Pantoja. The former champion, who had successfully defended his belt 3 times, was in visible pain and was quickly escorted out of the octagon to receive medical attention. He couldn't even stay for the official decision. This marks his first loss since mid-2020, a truly heartbreaking end to his impressive championship run. In his post-fight interview, the newly crowned champion, Joshua Van, expressed his own surprise and disappointment with how the fight concluded. He said, "I didn't know what happened. He just stopped. I was trying to ground and pound, but the ref said something was wrong." Van showed immense respect for Pantoja, calling him one of the greatest of all time and admitting that he didn't want the fight to go that way. It's a testament to Van's character that even in his moment of triumph, his first thoughts were for his opponent's well-being. Let's not let the unfortunate ending overshadow the incredible journey of Joshua Van. At just 24 years old, his rise has been nothing short of meteoric. Think about it, this caps off a perfect 4-0 year for him in 2025. He started the year as a promising, yet still unproven prospect. Many of us remember his knockout loss to Charles Johnson back in June 2024. To bounce back from that and go on the tear he's been on is just incredible. This year alone, he's defeated Ray Tsuruya, Bruno Silva, and the ever-dangerous Brandon Royval. That fight with Royval, by the way, was an absolute war. It set a new UFC record for the most combined strikes in a 3-round fight, with a staggering 419 strikes thrown between them. That performance proved Van wasn't just a prospect, he was a legitimate contender who could hang with the best in the division. He went from a raw talent to a UFC champion in the span of 12 months. Originally from Myanmar and now fighting out of Houston, Texas, Van has made history tonight. Not only is he one of the youngest champions ever, but he's also the youngest fighter to have landed over 1,000 significant strikes in his UFC career. His work rate is simply off the charts. After the fight, we saw a really touching moment. Van was presented with the UFC championship belt, and the first thing he did was walk over and place it on his mother's shoulder. With tears in his eyes, he said, "I'm so blessed." He then dedicated the victory to his home country, proclaiming, "People of Myanmar, now the world will know of us." It was a powerful, emotional moment that reminds us what this sport is all about, changing lives and representing where you come from. So, where does the flyweight division go from here? For Pantoja, the road to recovery begins now. We're all hoping the injury isn't as severe as it looked and that he can make a full recovery. Before this fight, he was building a legacy that put him in the conversation with the flyweight GOAT, Demetrious Johnson. He captured the belt in a classic war against Brandon Moreno back in 2023 and had been on an absolute tear ever since. A rematch with Van seems inevitable once Pantoja is healthy, but the timeline for that is completely unknown. For the new champion, Joshua Van, the future is incredibly bright. He's young, he's durable, he's got insane cardio, and now he has the UFC title. The flyweight division is stacked with killers. You've got guys like Brandon Royval, Brandon Moreno, Amir Albazi, and maybe even a healthy Pantoja all lining up for a shot. An immediate rematch makes the most sense from a sporting perspective, but the UFC might choose to keep the division moving. A fight against someone like Moreno or a rematch with Royval would be guaranteed fireworks. Tonight, a new king was crowned under the strangest of circumstances. It's a bittersweet victory for Joshua Van, but a victory nonetheless. He's proven he belongs at the top, and it's going to be fascinating to watch his championship reign unfold. Our thoughts are with Alexandre Pantoja for a speedy and full recovery. What did you all think of that ending? Who should be next for the new champion, Joshua Van? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more UFC content. Thanks for watching.